start a new chapter, that is cell cycle and cell division. What is meant by cell cycle? Cell cycle means a series of events that takes place in a cell as it grows and divides. Whereas cell division means a cell has to divide to form two new daughter cells. That is we called as cell division. In this chapter, we are going to study mainly how a cell has to prepare itself for the division. That means when the cell has to divide, it has to prepare itself for the division. That means there is a growth would takes place and accumulation of raw materials may takes place. Then ultimately the cell has to divide. Then how many times the cell has to divide it is everything is included in its genetic material. For example, meristematic cells, they are keep on dividing. That means in that cells the division is continuous. In some cells like permanent cells, these cells are formed from the meristematic cells. After the formation, they are assigned to a particular function. Then they will become as a permanent cells. So the preparation phase and the division phase both are present in the cell cycle. If we are talking about this word cell division, there are three types of divisions are there: amitosis, mitosis and meiosis. Cell cycle, the name itself tells us it is a cyclic process. That means it is going to be continuous. So cell cycle is a continuous process. Cell cycle has two phases. One is interphase and another one is M phase. Cell cycle takes place in two phases. One is interphase, another one is M phase. Interphase also known as resting phase and M phase also known as dividing phase. Why it is called as resting phase? Because previously scientists were believed that the changes are not visible during this phase. So they believed that this is a resting phase. But actually interphase is an active phase. Why? Because the growth changes would be takes place in this phase only. That means cell has to grow and prepare itself for the division. So it is a active phase. But previously it is called as a resting phase. This interphase has three phases. One is gap 1 or G1 or gap 1 phase, S phase or synthetic phase, and G2 or gap 2 phase. So interphase has three subphases. One is G1, S phase and G2 phase. M phase is also known as dividing phase because here the division has takes place, so that it is called also known as a dividing phase. The M phase has takes place in two phases or two stages. One is karyokinesis that is nuclear division has takes place. This nuclear division has takes place in four steps. One is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Karyo means nucleus. Kinesis, division has to takes place. So here the division has to takes place first. It is completed in four steps. One is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. This karyokinesis or nuclear division has to followed by the division of cytoplasm. That process is known as cytokinesis. Here the cytoplasm has to divide. As a result, two daughter cells would be formed finally. So cell cycle has two phases. One is interphase, another one is M phase. Interphase has three subphases, G1, S phase and G2 phase. M phase or dividing phase has two stages. One is karyokinesis, another one is cytokinesis. Karyokinesis has completed in 4 steps. One is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. It is followed by the cytokinesis, that is cytoplasmic division. Let me draw a cell cycle. So it is a cyclic process. So represent in a cyclic manner. This is the M phase. Remaining all is the interphase. This interphase has 3 subphases. One is G1, S and G2. From here to we call it as interphase. From here to here, it is a M phase. M phase has 2 steps. One is karyokinesis, another one is cytokinesis. Karyokinesis has completed in 4 steps. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. After this nuclear division, it is followed by cytoplasmic division, that is cytokinesis. So this is a cell cycle. Cell cycle has 2 phases. One is interphase, another one is M phase. Interphase has 2 subphases, G1, S and G2 phase. M phase has 2 stages. One is karyokinesis, another one is cytokinesis. Karyokinesis has 4 steps: prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. The cell, when a cell enters into this cycle, that means when a typical diploid cell enters the cycle from here, and it has to grow in these 3 phases, and finally it divides here to form 2 daughter cells.